Hey, Jeff, welcome to the show. As a way of getting started, tell us about yourself.
Hi, Brian. Well, thanks for letting me on. My name's Jeff Gritton. I'm a UK Business Development Manager for Pelco, and my job is to really go around, sell the Pelco dream. So we're bringing back the blue. We're bringing
Yeah.
back the blue, and we're going to get back to the way it should have been. We're going to get back to the way it used to be, Brian.
And what are you selling?
So we sell video management systems, our VX platform. We sell cameras. We are fully on-BIF compatible with all other on-BIF products. We integrate with various access control systems, and we've recently been bought by a company called Transom, and they're a private equity company over in America. And unlike a lot of private equity companies, these guys aren't stripping us. They're chucking loads of money at us, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got a sales team here in the UK. Tony Burns is the sales director, been with the company 12, 13 years. So, we've got some good depth. And we're not employing children, we're employing proper salespeople.
Excellent. And you've been selling for a couple of years now, huh?
Oh, God, don't. and there's me hoping you wouldn't bring that up. So, yes, I was the first person to sell a digital recording system to the Palace of Westminster.
Yeah.
So there was the Millennium Bug in 2000, year 2000 was right about the Millennium Bug. And I sold the Palace of Westminster digital recording system at the time, £1 million.
Nice.
And it was all JPEG recording, and we were storing to DAT tape. And every 12 hours, 130 machines would spit out their DAT tape. And that was good. The good days, it was really in the days of digital recording getting off the ground. There was that graph of the VCRs going down and NVRs or DVRs coming up.
Yep.
I was there just before the graph crossed, and then I was there after it. Then I went to Verin, American company, American institution, should I say, and very successful there. I was the first sales guy there to get the President's Club award, and my wife and I got sent to Monte Carlo for 5 days, all expenses paid. Thank you very much, anybody from looking for Verin. I then went to Indigo Vision. I don't normally like to do that, swapping from a Friday to a Monday thing. On Friday, very fantastic, and on Monday, look at Indigo Vision. But there was a few issues at Verin with service plans and that sort of thing, and it was a good time to move to Indigo Vision, who for years had turned around and said, we're going to put video over IP. We're going to put it over your network. And everybody would look at them and go, you must be mad. But they did. And they've been very, very successful at it. I then left and went to a company that basically Digital Barriers. I was very lucky to be there while the Olympics were on. Did millions and millions of pounds worth of work for Digital Barriers with the Olympics. I'm going to sort of skim the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, well, let's dig into kind of what we were talking about before we turned the camera on about how sales has changed.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on that.
Well, back in the old days when dinosaurs roamed the world, you had, using one of your phrases, you had people going
Tell me about it.
Hold on a minute, I've only just learned to walk erect. So basically, you had this thing where people would actually take the time to go in and get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And I've come back, I've been looking at, I do a lot of networking. I've got quite a few thousand followers on LinkedIn. I've got over 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. And I look at the way people interact with people, and I go out and see things, and I look at the way people do things, and it's almost like, hello, Brian. My name's Jeff from Pelco. What are you going to give me this next quarter?
Yeah, right.
And if you're not going to give me anything, you know what? I'm going to not let the door hit me on the arse on the way out. And that's wrong. When I joined Pelco, and Tony, not blowing smoke anywhere where smoke shouldn't be blown, but Tony Burns, great guy, he said to me, Jeff, it's all about relationships. And I said, Tony, totally agree with you. It's got to be the relationship. I want to make it more than just a Pelco system, a VX, a camera. That's great. The kit's brilliant. But let's get the people going first of all. Because then, when you do make a mistake, which we all know it all happens, you've got that relationship there. I was telling you, you know, just before we came on air that a few weeks ago, I'm doing a presentation and the guy says to me, Jeff, do you like dogs? And I was going, yeah, I've got a couple of dogs. He said, I've got a dog. It comes to work with me. And I thought, oh God, you know, I thought this, you know, this slobbering Dax, you know, slobbering Doberman Pinscher was going to come running in. And this little pug came in and I tickled him under the chin. I thought, okay, that's the job done. I can get on my presentation now. As I'm giving the presentation, dog jumps up on my lap.
Yeah.
So it's all about getting to know people.
And why is that so important?
Oh,
Because I see the same thing, and I almost don't blame reps. I blame managers.
Yeah.
Because they're focusing on activity instead of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because a relationship builds trust.
Yeah, absolutely. So a video management system is a video management system is a video management system is a video management system. Yeah. And Pilco, we do what we do stuff. We do the stuff as our competition. Our competition does the same stuff as us. So it's got to be about relationships. It's got to be, do you get on with Jeff? Yes, great. Do I get on with Jeff? No. Okay, well, maybe I don't get on with him. Maybe I'll have to go somewhere else and do what I need to do. Or you can live with the business relationship, but, you know, you need to build the relationship. When I walk into a door to talk about Pelco, I'm not talking about Pelco for the first 5-10 minutes. Right. I want to get to know the person I'm talking to.
And it's not just to be nice, and it's not just to make a friend. What it does is it builds trust, which allows you to talk about what they care about and for them to believe you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because what I've seen between the good reps and the great reps, the client wants to talk with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be about an order or a problem or a new feature. And it also doesn't have to be about dogs either. It can be whatever that person cares about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was at a meeting a few weeks ago and I said to this guy, oh, I'm going to go and see so-and-so next week. And he gave me, and I've never met this so-and-so guy. I'd never met him in my life. And this guy gave me such an insight into what the guy was, that when I sat down with him, I could already have a bit more of an insight, because people talk to people that care. Right. And I think I often get accused of wearing my heart on my sleeve, and I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and I am passionate. And I think that is also what the sales of everywhere is missing. It's, you know, to be in the first quarter, you've got to perform in the fourth quarter. Oh, give me a break. You know, for goodness sake, if I performed in 3 quarters and all of a sudden I have a little bit of a bad quarter, but my pipeline for the Q1 is looking great, what is your problem, really? Yeah. So I think we need to get away from this. And one of the reasons I went to Pelco, because they've explained to me their ethos, the way they want to do things going forward, and it just sits with me so well. Yeah. They want to get the relationship going with people. They don't want to be anybody can go along with his order pad and write out, you want to buy 1,000 widgets, thank you very much.
Well, that's it. And I think a lot of people view sales as order processing or order management, and I wish it was. You know?
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
I think anyone could do that, right?
Yeah.
That's not
I'm a new salesman. I'm a new salesman of the company. Where's my expense sheet? What's the holidays? And how's the commission paid? That's easy. Anybody could do it.
Yeah. Where are my orders? Where do they come in?
Orders? You know. I say to people when I joined Pelco, when I joined Verin, Indigo Vision, any company I go into, I go to the office and I say to the people in the office, in the back room if you want, I say, guys, the easiest way for me to fail is to really upset you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. And I also say to them, I probably know my clients probably better than you do. And if any of my clients start giving you a hard time, you let me know. Yeah. And it's all about that support. And I think this is one of the big things coming out from top management at Pelco, from the CEO, my new CEO at Pelco. It's coming out. We are here to support you. We are here to help you. And that is a message that I've not heard for a long, long time.
No, usually it's just the opposite. It's like,
Yeah.
you prove to us that we didn't make a hiring mistake.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Prove to me that you've done the right thing coming here. No, hold on a minute. What? What? It's got to stop. That has got to stop. And I look behind me and I look over, I've been doing this like you have since the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this a long time. And I look behind me and I don't see many people coming up.
And I think, well, first, they don't understand why it's important, because there's a lot of people saying, oh, you don't have to be liked. And it's like, well, you probably don't have to be, but if you don't, you better have something that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
That they're going to overlook disliking you.
Unicorn tears by the bottle.
Right. Because like is on a continuum. It's not binary. It's not whether I like you or don't like you. I like you to a certain extent or dislike you to a certain extent. And why not be likable so that they want to talk with you?
Yeah.
Because the number one issue I hear is, even when I get a deal started, it gets stuck and people go radio silent, meaning they won't call you back. And the reason they won't call you back is they know you just want the order. They don't enjoy talking to you.
Yeah.
And it's transactional. It's not transformational.
No.
I mean, I'm sure, you've obviously done big deals. When you do a big deal, they've got to want to talk with you.
Well, when you're spending £1 million, it's a number.
It's a leap. It's a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Right. Not only that you're telling the truth, but they're going to get the outcome that they're paying for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But if there were a few issues along the way to getting that outcome, guess what? You've got the relationship. So that you can actually say, look, we've got a problem. I often say to people, if there's a single person in this room who hasn't had a problem, put your hand up. And nobody will ever put their hand up. No. Everybody has a problem. It's how you handle that problem. And having the relationship is the absolute, in my mind, the pivotal key thing.
It is. And I think it's viewed as old school, but people haven't changed that much.
No.
We talked about, if they're in market and they want to buy something, it may not matter as much. But most people are like, yeah, I could use it. Or why do I need it? Yeah. Or can I live with what I have?
Well, I think security, I've always said since sort of day one, security for me. So, security, that's basically the business I'm in. I'm in security. I'm in CCTV. I'm in video management systems. When times are bad, people want to buy, it's a distressed buy. They want to buy security to protect what they've got so they can make more money. When times are good, it's still a distressed buy, but people don't mind buying it as much because they recognize the benefits of making even more money. Yeah. So we're just hopefully getting over this this Brexit thing over here, which you guys have probably been laughing at.
We haven't had much political upheaval here in the U.S. at all. It's been pretty steady state for the last couple of years.
Oh, oh, sorry. Of course it has, Brian. What was I thinking?
Right. Everyone's very happy. Everyone's getting along well.
Steadiest driver in the world. Man's a marvel. Man's a marvel.
So how do you do this? What's your style? What's your approach? Is it try and find some commonality, like the dog example, or anything that the other person cares about?
The dog I try to find out what ticks people's boxes for a start. I don't drive around in a great big expensive flashy car. I don't go in wearing great big stupid things. I also don't drink alcohol.
Well, we've got to end this right here.
Yeah, see ya. I haven't drunk alcohol for 38 years.
You're in the UK, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I know. How do I not? I won't say the other joke. So I haven't drunk alcohol for 38 years. And to me, that's an important thing. And I think I getting to know people and people know that they can talk to me. We can go for a night out and nothing's going to get stupid. My way that I want to do things, go in, and as someone said to me, shiny shoes, firm handshake, look them in the eye and make sure that you're telling them the truth. Legal, decent, truthful and honest. Yeah. And if I don't know something, I don't bullshit anybody. Yeah. I say to them, I'll get my technical support on the phone. I think so many sales guys are trying to be absolutely everything. When I was at Verin, I said to the guys at Verin, my job, and my job's still at Pelco, is to go into somewhere, get to know somebody, put my arm around them, and go, look at all this wonderful backup I've got. Look at this fantastic team, this fantastic product. Now we can do the business. But first of all, I've got to get to like them. And I will walk. If I don't like somebody, I will walk. And I think that's probably a good thing to have happen.
Well, yeah, you should probably have a pretty good, what I call a bullshit meter, where the other
Yeah,
person,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
right, is
yeah,
either misleading you or not being upfront or being cagey or playing
yeah,
you against another competitor.
yeah.
And I think that judgment or that meter has helped me out probably more than anything.
Yes, yeah. I love there's something you used a couple of weeks ago, but it's been around for a long time, where, you know, I can get this cheaper from other people. And I said, well, I charge people more than I'm charging, you know, I charge people more than that. And I think that's the thing. There's two parts to a deal. If something's for free and it goes wrong, please don't moan at me.
Yeah.
If I make you pay for it and it goes wrong, you've got a right bit to have a bit of a moan. But I think everybody's got to walk away happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to walk away happy. It's, you know, look at the definition of deal. Everybody's got to walk away happy. But I think the biggest thing is just walking in and getting people being known as well, doing like the networking, you know, I mean, networking events, we both know they can be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
So when I first joined Pelco, my boss turned around to me and said, Jeff, there's a big dinner on the 6th of December. Can you go? Yeah, of course I can. Black tie, boat, of course I can go. Then I realised it was a Friday in London. But I went and I had 3 companies on the table with me that I didn't know. I had one guy that I knew, the other 2 I didn't. And the other 2 that I didn't know, I'm seeing next week.
Yeah.
And the one that I did know is giving me business, because I explained to them the way we as a company, we as an organisation now want to go forward. And people are fed up. Like I know we keep going on about it, but people are fed up with this. Hello, my name's Jeff. What are you going to buy from me? No, it's going to stop. It's got to stop.
Right. And I don't know what's going to be the catalyst for it, whether it's management change or the people just get smarter, because the KPIs that people have today, make 50 calls. I would rather say, okay, spend the first half hour, drill that list down to 20.
Yeah, then put it down to 10.
Right. And who are most likely to be interested, the timing's probably right, and have something to talk about that they care about that has nothing to do with us.
Do you remember the old days when you had to go in and do a call or do a meeting and they said, you've got to bring a referral back? Do you remember those old days?
Yeah.
They used to do that. You used to go in and see Brian, anybody else I can talk to about my network? We got LinkedIn for that now.
Right.
LinkedIn does all that good
and you
stuff.
got on the show that way. You
exactly.
Right. You didn't hound me to be on the show. You approached me. You became known, liked, and trusted, and it became a natural evolution of our discussion online.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly, which is what it's all about. I have a set of words that I give out to somebody when I'm going to try to link in with them, and it works.
Yeah.
It works because I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm trying to sell them me. You know, the biggest thing we are ever going to sell is Brian and it's Jeff. They're the biggest things we are ever going to sell. And we don't have a sell-by date. We're going on.
And I think a lot of it comes from people trying to treat the complex sale, which we are in, multiple decision makers, high dollar amount, very competitive, like a simple sale, like you're selling, a cell phone or a TV or a car, which is a single sales call, single decision maker usually for a couple. And if they don't buy that day, they don't buy from you. They go down the street or
Absolutely.
And what ends up happening is the complex sale, they have to become aware of the problem that they may not be aware of. They have to become curious about how it would affect them. They have to become interested in it. And that journey requires somebody to guide them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was involved in something about a year or so ago. Yeah, just about a year or so ago. And I was being snowballed. The guy was saying, no. I said, I even turned around and said, but you need this for your business.
Yeah.
And I did something that I hate doing. And I went round him to his boss. And I hate doing it. And the next thing I know is I got an email off this guy saying, "Oh, you made me look really stupid." I said, no, I'll now send you the email that I sent your boss, which is basically bigging you up, telling him what a fantastic job he is doing. And from that, we sold him, I think, £250,000 worth of equipment. And it just becomes that thing of, I don't like going around I don't know, Buffalo Girl it, I don't like going around the outside. But you know what? If I'm being snowballed, just because I'm nice doesn't mean I'm weak. And I think if I'm being snowballed, but because I know all the players, I make it my job to know that if I'm talking to Brian and Brian's snowballing me, actually I know who Brian's boss is. And I'm starting my relationship with Brian. And I literally linked in with this guy. I sent him a LinkedIn message, the boss, on a Saturday morning at 7:30.
Yeah.
And at quarter to 8, we were on LinkedIn, chatting on LinkedIn. And he said, "Yeah, Jeff, you need to do this and this." And that was the way you had to do it. But I think as long as you don't antagonize and wind up and be rude or disrespectful to the person you've gone around the outside with, everything should be okay. Everything should be okay.
And how do you know when to switch the conversation or start using questions about the business, their business?
I think you can do that more. You can do that from day one, from minute one. It's, "Hello, Brian, how are you? Wow, nice." Just simple, basic stuff.
Yeah.
Nice offices. How many people work here? Bang, he just tells you immediately. In the minute you say how many people work here, they will automatically go, "Oh, I've got 6 engineers, I've got 3 salesmen, I've got 2 operations managers," and they just rattle it all out for you. And that's really good. I think it's asking, people say, ask the open questions.
Yeah.
Ask the open questions. It's people are scared of doing it. That's the trouble. Even when it comes to I want the order now. Ask it.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're meeting face to face and you're obviously are very good with LinkedIn, you can get a sense of what they care about.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just from your big smile on LinkedIn, I'm looking at your page right now and how you
Oh,
characterized your high school. I know you're a guy who likes to laugh.
Yeah. My
Right?
high school was a war zone. It wasn't a high school. It was a war zone.
Yeah.
It was the worst years of my life.
Yeah. Same
God,
for me.
don't.
And what were some of the other epiphanies you got through your career? Clearly you were able to build rapport very quickly, get to the business issues, analyze people and get a sense of who they are. What were some of the other things that when the light turned on for you?
I think one of the biggest lessons I got when I very, very first started doing this was, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth, use accordingly. That was a big thing for me. And I actually had it written down in my case on a bit of tape because I wasn't doing it. Don't be afraid of silences.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't, if there's a silence, 2 guys can go along in a car and not talk to each other for 20 miles. 2 women can't. It's just a woman thing. So it's just
easy.
That's not being sexist. It's just the way it is. So I think there's a thing I don't know. I say I don't know that.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. It's this whole thing of, let's have a bit of a laugh selling. Let's have a bit of a let's make it fun.
Yeah.
Let's make it fun. Let's make it fun. And I think that to me is important.
Right.
It has to be fun.
And what do you say to reps that say, "Well, that's not my style," or "I'm not humorous," or?
Well, maybe they're the guys walking around with those really, really small hands that dinosaur sweats. They also died. I mean, I think the sales is going complete. The evolution is going complete circle now. Years ago, it used to be, "Hello, Brian. I don't wear a shirt and tie. I wear a suit. I wear a white suit. I wear a white shirt, a suit, and shoes. I don't wear a tie." People used to say to me, the only time Jeff wears a tie is if he's going to go and see the government officials on a Friday for telling off. So I don't wear ties anymore. That's gone out the window. More and more people are dressing casually, which is fine. But I think we've gone full revolution now. It used to be, "I care about you." Then it went, "I don't really care about you. I just want to care the money because my management are telling me." I think management are starting to get it, because there's a lot of companies out there now that are employing people that after 6 months, those people go.
Yeah.
management are still trying to flog that same animal.
Right. And our customers haven't changed. I mean, I think they're even colder because they're getting beat up so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got this thing. What happens is the management say to me, for argument's sake, the management says to me every hour, where's that deal? Where's that deal? Where's that deal? I phone the system integrator. Where's that deal? Where's that deal? He phones his end user. Where's that deal? And it just goes round. And in the end, everybody goes, you know what? No, I'm not having this anymore. And the amount of people that I'm now talking to, they are not going to have this anymore. They don't want that approach anymore. They're fed up.
That's it.
They're fed up.
I've kind of come up with this saying, let's make sales great again.
Yes.
Because
yeah, let's do it. You and me, Brian, against the world.
That's it. I know, because trust me, I spend half my day, helping reps, learn how companies buy and map your sales process to that.
Yes.
And then I talk to managers and they just think it's a numbers game. And I go, well, yeah, it is, but you're focused on the wrong numbers.
Yeah.
You're trying to get all of this down to this.
Yeah.
Find out what's most likely going to happen and approach it the right way.
Absolutely. What's happened is years ago, they'd send sales guys on courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember those? They send you on a course of, I got sent on a course of what happens if you're late to a meeting, Jeff? What happens? So basically, you turn up late, you apologise once, that's it. And at the end of it, you don't go, sorry for being late, because that's putting you on the back foot again.
Yeah.
What's happened is our clients, their management have sent them on courses to become smart buyers, but the management people of certain companies have stopped sending us on sales courses to be smart sellers. Now, Pelco have got this fantastic thing where you have to go online and have to answer questions about the company.
Yeah.
And it's really, really teaching me a lot about the company and about how it works and everything like that, which is great. Now, I've not had that for years, because all the people I've worked for the last 5-6 years, all they care about is, Jeff, you're really good at what you do. You're great at business development. You can do account management and you can do all the other good stuff. Just go out and do it.
Right.
Well, what does the product actually do? Now, don't worry about that, Jeff. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute, you're kidding me. So everything's being done again properly, and that for me is the big thing. It's got to come back. Because
I've seen the focus go from, instead of increasing sales, they're focused on reducing the cost of sales.
Yes.
So they're hiring a lot of very entry level people to try and get meetings.
Yeah.
But they don't have much experience talking to other people that they don't know. Because talking to a stranger is very different than talking to somebody you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, God, absolutely, yeah.
Right? Because the onus is on us to build that rapport.
It is, absolutely. I was once said to somebody, one of my very, very first times, I said, so what do we do when we go into the room? And the guy turned around and said, look, Jeff, act as if the person you're going to go and see has got 3 heads, 16 legs, and they're pink. And then that way, when you walk in there, a normal human being, you'd automatically have that smile come on your face. Yeah. And that's what does it. People, I don't think anybody sits at school or sits at high school or sits at university and goes, I'm going to be a sales guy.
No one did.
Nobody does that. Remember that? The thing that kicked us off a couple of weeks ago, remember about there's no such thing as a born salesman. There's no such thing as a born doctor. You need to be trained. You need that experience.
Yes.
It's a catch-22 thing. How do I get experience? By being a salesman. How do I become a salesman? By being experienced. Whoa, hold on.
That is the tragedy, because a lot of the people in the sales training space have never sold.
No.
Right. No. So they take somebody else's methodology,
yeah.
which is, and take it out of context. So people learn, spin questions, or they come up with some great insight, but rapport isn't built.
No.
The timing isn't right. They don't trust you yet, and you're trying to tell them about how their business should be run.
Yeah, and I think as well, management sort of sometimes trying to go in at managing director level. Well, hold on a minute.
Go top down, yeah.
Yeah, top down. No, I'd like to actually go bottom up. And there's a big thing for bottom up. If you go bottom up, everybody then becomes involved in the process. If my boss, if I'm a buyer, and my boss comes to me and goes, go and see Jeff and take his phone call and do this and this, I'm going to go, I'm not going to go and see him. Who do you think he is? Whereas
Right.
if I go to him and go, why don't you go to your boss and introduce me on this stuff? It just all works. Yes, of course you have to go and see managing directors or chief financial
At the
officers at
right
some stage.
time.
But I've got those guys in my ammunition box.
Cool.
They're my go-tos if my bottom up doesn't work. But to go
Excellent.
top down from day one is very, shall I dare I say it, very 80s.
Yeah. Well, people thought it was faster. And,
Yeah.
but, you know, when I talk to executives today, they're asking everybody. They're scared to
Yes.
death to make a decision,
Yes.
waste
Yes.
money, you know,
Yeah.
because nothing's worse than them spending the money and no one uses the product.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And they've all done it.
Oh
Right.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just a nightmare for them. Hey, this has been a great conversation. Where can
Thank you
people
very
go to
much.
follow you?
Yeah, well, thank you, Brian. I really appreciate it. Listen, Happy New Year to you and your family and everybody else. And hopefully we might do this again sometime. Who knows?
That'd be great. And how about follow you on LinkedIn? Is that the right place for people to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn. You'll see me there quite regularly.
Excellent.
All right.